I don't know about you, but I've been really disappointed in the soups that I've bought fairly recently. I know the tins are always good to have on the shelf, but because I do a lot of canning and I eat and rotate, it just makes sense for me to just make my own soups. The soups today, they say they're chunky or big soups and stuff like that. But when you open them up, they've got hardly any vegetables in them, a few tiny little chunks. And the meat is more like granules. So I made a great big pot of stew. We've had it for a couple of days. I've still got some leftovers. So I have going to make that into my soup, or the base of my soup. So I divided it evenly between 7 jars. I've cut up some carrots and some parsnip, and I've got some extra meat as well. So I'm going to divide that into the jars. I do have more if I need it. I remember when you used to open a can of big soup and it was an actual meal, but now it's more like just a vegetable soup. I've got some soup mix. It's sort of lentils and barleys and bits like that. So I'm going to put a spoonful of that in each. And then I've got a tin of beans, just cheap old tin of beans. I just heated up a bit of stock, just a couple of OXO cubes, and we're going to fill the jars, leaving a 1-inch headspace. So that one seems to be a lot less than the others. So I've got some dried vegetable mix, so I'm just going to add that into there. And I might as well just add a little bit more soup mix into that one. It's obviously a bigger jar. So just going to debubble and mix it all in. Just going to top up. Just going to clean off the rims and the lids with some white vinegar. So the twist on lids, you just do them up as tight as you like, and the rings and lids are just finger tight. Add the water to your recommended guidelines on your pressure canner. Pop on the lid. And then we will bring it up to vent, which means when steam comes out of here, that is venting. We let that vent for 10 minutes, turn it down a little bit, it doesn't need to be on full. So as long as still steam coming out, that's fine. And then we will put on the weight. Mine's a 10-pound weight for my altitude. You would need to check your altitude. You put your weight on, and once it comes up to pressure, so turn it back up. Once it comes up to pressure, we're then going to can it for 90 minutes. And then once it's canned for 90 minutes, we just turn it off and leave it to come down to natural pressure on its own. And that will be your soup done. So the steam's been coming out of here gently for 10 minutes now. So I'm going to put the lid on, put the weight on and turn him up. So he's dancing around quite happily. I'm just going to turn him down a little bit. I've moved it to the back. I also realised that I had the wrong weight on it. I've got two jiggle ones and I put the wrong one on. That's why I was not wanting to come up. So spotted the mistake and put it right. Sometimes it takes a little bit of fiddling just to keep that moving around just slightly like that. Alexa, set a timer for 90 minutes. The pressure canner's been off for a good 10-15 minutes. So we're just going to release it off. Take the lid off. And just gently lift the jars out onto the side. When you come to reheat your soup, if you decide they're not thick enough, you can just thicken it up with a little bit of cornstarch or potato flour. We just need to let those sit for up to 24 hours. See it bubbling in the jars in some of them. So we're just going to let that settle up, cool down, and then just mark it up. But that is it, all done. As they cool, the lids will sink down and cause a vacuum. So that's the end of another video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you did, please give it the old thumbs up and a subscribe if you're not already. Till next time, bye.